Welcome to a new year. We made it to 2021. I'm sure many of you, like me, were happy to open a new calendar full of new beginnings and opportunities to start again. Thank you for joining me for a special New Year's Day, all levels flow yoga and meditation practice. If we haven't met, my name is Tamara Maxim, and I am honored to guide you through this practice. Let's begin. Find a comfortable position, seated or lying down. When you get to that position, take a few deep breaths. Settle into your body, settle into the space that you're in. Get comfortable. When you exhale, make some sound. Become more present and aware with each breath. Our practice today will focus on opening, releasing, and flowing with intention into the new year. Feel free to close your eyes as we begin with a meditation and an opportunity to create a meaningful intention and dedication for the energy that we are cultivating together today. As we step through the passage from one year to the next, I invite you to focus on your hopes, your dreams, and courage. All that has allowed you to be here now in this amazing moment, the beginning of a new year. And I'd like to begin with a poem called For a New Beginning by John O'Donohue. So please relax, enjoy, focus on your breath. In out of the way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to emerge. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the great promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered why you always lived like this. Then the delight, when your courage kindled, and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon, you will be home in a new rhythm. For your soul senses the world that awaits you. Allow these inspiring words to be absorbed with your breath. Take a few moments to make your way to Balasana, child pose. And once there, take a few more deep, cleansing breaths. In your child pose, your knees can be wide or together, hips toward your heels. Arms can be extended forward or beside you, forehead down. Feel free to join me from your child pose for one sound of Om, the sacred internal nada. Allow yourself to attune to that vibration and know that we're all connected through the Om. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Inhale for Om. from your Balasana. Extend your arms forward toward the tops of your mat, toward the corners, right and left. Extend your fingertips wide apart and press down into the finger pads. So maybe the center of your palm lifts up, maybe your arm bones lift up. And feel that extension from your hips all the way to your wrist creases and then all the way to your fingers. Take a full deep breath here. See if you can walk your fingertips a little bit more forward. Sigh as you exhale. One more like that. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale. And then from here on your next inhale breath, walk your hands over to the right side of your mat, maybe even all the way off your mat. And depending how you're feeling today, maybe you'll go a little bit deeper. Maybe your left hand will come on top of your right. Maybe you'll interweave your top fingers to the valley of your bottom fingers. Allow the outer left hip to pull out and down toward your left heel. And feel that extension through the left rib cage and a contraction on the right. Take a full deep breath here. Stay for your exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. And then slowly, intentionally, walking your hands all the way through center, all the way over to the left side. And again, finding your way into the pose that works for you. Maybe you extend your right hand a little bit further over your left. Maybe you interweave your fingers, pulling the outer right hip out and down towards your right heel. Relaxing your ears between your arms. Take a full breath in. Feel that expansion through your right rib cage and that contraction in the left as you exhale. Take one more breath here, a full inhale and a full exhale. And then intentionally, slowly walking your hands back through center. Take one more breath in this extended version of child pose, knowing you can always come back to this posture anytime. And then from here, pull yourself up to a tabletop position, Chakravakasana, for cat and cow. And let's flow with the breath 5 times. Spreading your fingertips wide apart, tuck your toes. Knees are under hips, palms under shoulders. Take an inhale breath as you tip your tailbone up, tummy down, chest up. Pull the heart forward and up. And as you exhale, curl the tailbone under, round your spine, chin to your chest. And as you inhale again, tailbone up, tummy down, chest up. Exhale, round the spine. Keep going 3 more times, finding some lateral movements, finding some intuitive movements. What feels good for you in this moment? 2 more rounds. Inhale and exhale. Last time. Inhale and exhale. And again, this is a position you can always come back to through the practice. And one more position that's always wonderful to do, and it's a good option for a downward facing dog, especially if you're finding it hard to keep your knees off the ground. Start to walk your hands more forward, keeping your hips over your knees. Anahatasana, heart melting pose. Some people call this puppy pose. You might see your pups doing this in the morning. Nice big stretch. Let your hips pull back and up. Keep the hips over the knees and allow the heart to melt down. And maybe your forehead is down. Maybe your chin is forward. You feel that lengthening through the belly, pulling back of the hips. Nice stretch underneath the arms into the lymph nodes and the side body, lengthening. Allow the heart to open, create space there. Take one more full deep breath in, and as you exhale, can you sigh out your mouth, let something go. You're welcome to stay in either of those three positions anytime. Balasana, Chakravakasana, the tabletop, or Anahatasana, heart melting. If you're ready for it, let's make our way to our first Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Walking your hands slightly closer to your knees, but still forward of your shoulders. Tuck your toes, engage the belly, start to pull the hips back and up. And for these first few moments, pedal out your heels, left and right, bending the opposite knee as one heel presses down, other knee bends. Shift your hips. A little bit of sway and movement in the hips. Let your head be heavy. You can even nod yes and no, maybe. Let your gaze go between your inner thighs or even towards your belly button. And then start to settle in for a few breaths, making your body like an upside down V shape. Taking one more full deep breath here. Stay for your exhale. And on your next inhale breath, lift your right leg up to the sky. Press out through your heel if you can. You can also do this with your left knee down. Stack your hip open, bend your knee. Let your right foot drop behind you. Try to square your shoulders to the mat. Take a full deep breath here. Stay for your exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Let's go to the other side. Right foot plants down. Stabilize through your hands. Left leg lifts. Press out through your heel. Of course, your right knee can be down if you need. Start to bend your knee. Stack your hip open. Let your foot drop to the right side. Get a good opening through that thigh, through the hip flexor. Square your shoulders to the mat. Let your head be heavy. Take a full deep breath here. Stay for your exhale. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Now coming back to full Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take one more full round of breath. Let that sigh be audible. Wonderful way to let things go. And then on your next inhale, look forward, soften your knees, walk, step, or even hop if you're feeling that energy. Come to the top of your mat, feet are hip distance apart, palms to your shins. Come halfway with your chest, lifting up until your back is parallel to the floor. Take an inhale breath, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, soften your knees and fold, Uttanasana. Again, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, fold. And soften your knees. Bring your right palm underneath your face. It might be on a block if you have one. Bend your right knee a lot. Take your left hand to your hip and start to spiral your chest open to the left. Now, as you're spiraling your chest open to the left, maybe it might be comfortable for you to look up. If not, you can look down or to the side. And if it's available, reach your left arm straight up to the sky. You might even spin your palm around, bring it to your lower back, and wrap those fingers around the top of your right thigh. Get a nice opening into the chest, the shoulder, maybe even to your neck. Full deep breaths here. And as you unwind yourself, take a breath in, coming back to center as you exhale, and let your knees soften right and left, right and left. And then we'll switch sides. So your left palm comes underneath your face, maybe to a block if you need it. Bend your left knee a lot. Right hand comes to your right hip. And start to spiral your chest open to the right. Maybe you gaze up. It's okay to gaze to the side or down, bending your left knee as much as you need. And when you're ready, reach your right arm up to the sky. Point your fingertips straight up. Maybe you spiral your right hand around, comes to the lower back, and tuck your fingers around the top of your left thigh. See if you can get a little bit more opening here. Take full deep breaths. Remembering that that sigh for the exhale is a good signal to your central nervous system to relax and let go just a little bit more. One more breath here. Breathe in and breathe out. And now come back through center, unwind yourself halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen. Look forward, nice long spine. Soften as you release. Exhale, Uttanasana. Now on your inhale, either roll up or rise up. Let the arms come wide. Urdhva Hastasana, upward stretching, a little back bend if you like as your palms touch. And hands to your heart center and down by your side. And one more stretch here. On your inhale breath, reach your arms up to the sky. Wrap your right fingers around your left wrist. Soften your knees, soften your elbows. And then as you inhale, stretch and up and over to the right, Arta Chandrasana. Let your hips push out to the left. Try to keep some space between your chin and your chest. You can look maybe even up underneath your left arm. You can look straight ahead or even down towards your right outer foot. And then inhale back through center, soften. Switch your grip, left fingertips around your right wrist. Soften your knees and elbows. Inhale, stretch up, lengthen the side. Exhale, up and over to the left, hips pushing out to the right. Again, find that space for your neck, and maybe you look to the right, straight ahead, or down towards your outer left foot. One more breath, inhale, and exhale. And then inhale, come back through center, release. Let your arms fall down by your sides. Find Tadasana, mountain pose. Allow yourself to stand powerfully in this moment, full of opportunity and potential. As we move and breathe today, I invite you to dedicate this practice in powerful and meaningful ways. Let's begin with hope. Hope is a light, a beacon, an anchor, the inspiration to keep going, even in the most challenging of times. Join me in dedicating the next series of movements to hope, allowing the light of hope to guide and sustain you. Beginning at the top of your mat with your feet either hip distance or big toes touching, hands at your heart center. On your inhale breath, sweep your arms wide and up, Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And as you exhale, plant your palms and step back, Balasana, plank pose. Lower your right knee down, kickstand your right foot behind you, and open up into a supported side plank, Ardha Vashisthasana. Take a big breath in, reach up to the sky. Stay for your exhale. And on your inhale, come back to the plank. Take a breath in, take a breath out, draw the belly in. On your inhale, lower your left knee, kickstand your left foot behind you. Sweep your right arm up. Feel the press of your left hand, lift your chest, open the heart, big breath in, and a big breath out. And on your inhale, come back through center, high plank pose. Lower your knees if you need, and lower all the way down. Untuck your toes. Take your fingertips out wide off of your mat. On your inhale breath, lift your heart up. As you exhale, take your right shoulder down, look over your left. This is exalted cobra. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, left shoulder down, look over your right, an opening of the heart. Inhale, lift the heart brighter. Exhale, lower down. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the heart. Exhale, right shoulder down, look over your left. Again, inhale, lift your heart. Left shoulder down, look over your right. Last time to center, inhale, heart is bright. Open it up. Exhale to lower. One cobra pose, Bhujangasana, palms beside your chest. Toes are untucked still, roll the shoulders back, elbows in. Inhale, heart up. Shoulders back. Exhale, lower. Now tucking your toes, keep them tucked as you shift back to child pose, hips to heels, and feel that stretch through the feet, forehead down. And then as you're ready, lift your hips back and up and make your way Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And from this downward facing dog, shorten your stance just a little bit. And see if you can release your right hand to wrap the outer left ankle, calf, or thigh, bending your knees as much as you need. Take a little twist, looking underneath your left arm. Push into the left hand, find that stability. Keep the shoulder engaged. And then release that hand, go to the other side. Left hand releases to wrap to the outer right ankle, calf, or thigh, looking underneath your right arm. Press that right hand into the mat to get that stability. Set the shoulder back. Take one more breath. Stay for your exhale. And then looking forward, take a breath in, and as you exhale, walk, step, or hop forward to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, Ardha Hastasana. Hands to heart center. And release by your side, Tadasana. Feel the illumination of hope within you. Dreams are visions and wishes for the future, the catalyst for change, a call to action, the seeds of our intention. Join me in dedicating the next series of movements to our dreams, allowing an opening of space for them to arise. You can bring your feet together if it's comfortable for you. Find your hips to sit back and down, Utkatasana, chair pose. Take 3 deep breaths here. No dreams occur without a little effort. So feel the power rising from your belly, your center, your core. Curl the tailbone toward your heels. Allow the shoulders to move back and down. Take 2 more deep breaths. One more inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, flat back, look forward. And as you exhale, plant your palms, step back again, Balasana, high plank pose. Rocking forward, keeping the belly in. And here we'll roll open with our right palm down and step our left foot in front. And again, a variation of side plank, Vashisthasana. And this time we'll sweep our top hand over our ear. And as you push into your right palm, see if you can lift your left hip a little bit higher. Maybe look underneath your left arm again. You can always look straight ahead or down. One more breath. Inhale. Lift the hips higher as you exhale. And then sweeping that hand back. Step back again, high plank pose. Good. Lower to your belly. Take an inhale breath, cobra, or upward dog if you're ready. Exhale, lower. Push back, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Stack your hip, open it up. No option to flip over if you like for Wild Thing. That's in your practice. And then as you're ready, bring your knee in toward your chest and step forward. Back heel spins down and you rise up. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Right hip is pulling back, left thigh forward, lunge into your right knee. Reach your arms up to the sky, chin away from the chest, brighten through the heart. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And now bringing your hands to your lower back, interlace your palms tight together right to the webbing. See if you can keep that grip tight, even if you need to keep your elbows bent. Take an inhale to lengthen, open through the chest. As you exhale, bow forward, Baddha Virabhadrasana. Let your head be heavy, bowing humbly, chin toward the chest, shoulder resting on your thigh. Maybe the crown comes right down, side of your right foot. Take a full deep breath in. Take a full deep breath out. And pulling yourself all the way back up. Reach your arms to the sky. And as you exhale, hands come down and you step back and lower. And take your back bend, cobra, or maybe upward dog if you're ready. and all the way back, downward dog. You can inhale breath, ripple forward, high plank pose. And this time open up with your left palm down, turning to the right, step your right foot in front, reach your top arm up and over your ear. See if you can lift your right hip just a little bit higher. Maybe you look underneath your right arm, straight down or to the side. Press into that left hand and see if you can lift that outer right hip even more. Take one more big breath into this beautiful side body stretch. Ardha Vashisthasana, another variation. Then coming back to plank pose. Lower halfway or all the way. Take your back bend and downward facing dog. This time lifting your left leg up to the sky, stack your hip, bend your knee. Feel free to flip over if you like for Wild Thing. That's in your practice. And then bringing that knee in toward your chest, step through. Back heel spins down, Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Pulling your outer left hip back, right thigh forward, reach your arms up to the sky. Take a full deep breath here. Stay for your exhale. And now again, find that grip, but this time take the opposite grip. So sometimes we don't think about it and we grip automatically. Switch that up. Heel of the hands together, chest open, arms long. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, bowing humbly into your warrior. Left hip pulling back, right thigh forward, crown of the head coming down. Try to orient the crown of your head toward the top of your mat rather than to the side. Maybe the crown of your head comes just inside of your left foot. Hands reaching up and over, away from your lower back. One more deep breath. Stay for your exhale. And then as you inhale, come all the way back up. Oops. Reach your arms for the sky. Find your balance. And as you exhale, palms come down. Step back and lower, moving through the vinyasa in any way that feels good. Of course, taking child pose or tabletop or Hanamanasana if you need. Full breath in. And full breath out. And then looking forward, walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. Hands to heart center. And down by your side. Stand with your hope and your dreams. Feel courageous. Courage is the heart-led ability to keep moving forward, following the light of hope, achieving our dreams, even in the face of fear, uncertainty, and the unknown. Courage is why we are all here every day, living our amazing lives. Join me in dedicating the next series of movements to courage. Feel the power of your heart to carry you through whatever arises in you, through whatever arises in life, in good times and hard times. Let's start with a vinyasa. Chair pose again, Utkatasana. An inhale breath. Scoop your tailbone toward your heels. Reach your arms up. Big inhale. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Look forward. As you exhale, plant your palms. Step back. High plank pose. This time, full Vashisthasana. Open up to the right with your right palm down. Open to the left. Feel free to stay here. Maybe you hold your knee. Maybe tree pose. Maybe you even grab your foot. Full breath in. Full breath out. And feel free to do the side variations that we did already. Beautiful. Come back to plank. Let's go right away to the other side. Open up to your right side, left palm down. You can use your bottom knee or top foot for support. Bend your knee, hold your knee, grab your foot. Find the strength with courage to hold this posture. One more breath. As you're ready, come back to Balasana, high plank. Draw the belly in as you rock forward. Exhale, lower halfway to Chaturanga or all the way. Take your back bend, Cobra, Upward Dog, lift the heart. And as you exhale, make your way back. Adho, Mukha, Svanasana, Downward Dog. Take a full inhale breath. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Stack your hip, bend your knee, open it up. Feel free to flip over if you like. And then as you exhale, step your right foot through to the center. Back heel spins down. Find that front heel to back arch alignment. Virabhadrasana 2. A few deep breaths here to find your center. I like to think of my front hand reaching into the future, my back hand into the past, but my head and my heart are in the present. Curl your outer right hip underneath you, inner left thigh rolling open, gaze forward. Take a full deep breath here. Stay for your exhale. One more, inhale. And exhale. On your inhale breath, straighten your right leg, heel toe your back foot, and maybe a step or two for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Reach forward, keep reaching, pivot your arms. Allow your arms to be open as if you are holding on to a big ball, gripping it with your hands, extending your palms as wide as you can. Take a full deep breath in and see if you can close your hands over that ball and share it. Big breath in and a big breath out. Good. Next breath. Left hand to your left hip. Soften into your right knee. Use a block if you need underneath your right hand as you step forward. Arta Chandrasana, half moon pose. Maybe your fingertips reach the mat or maybe you can float them. Start to stack your left hip open over your right. Press out through your heel, turn your left shoulder open, and maybe you lose your balance. Maybe you can find it again. Left hand reaching up, maybe you can look up. If you can, find that little bit of extra strength to try to come off of your right fingertips, even just for a moment. Make them as light as you can. And then soften, step back, and open up to the left side of your mat with your hands wide, your feet wide, making sure your feet are parallel, slightly pigeon-toed, or toes pointing straight ahead, and then hands to your hips. Take a breath in, lengthen your chest forward and up. And as you exhale, let's fold forward, Prasarita, Tanasana. Before we hold in the fold, we'll take another twist here, like we did earlier with our standing forward fold. Take your right palm underneath your face, left hand to your left hip, and start to spiral open. Left hand reaching up to the sky. Maybe again, you wrap it around your lower back to the top of your right thigh. You can stay here or maybe even going deeper, taking your right palm to the outer left ankle and pulling yourself in for a deeper twist. Really customizing the practice for your own needs. Feeling courageous, allow that energy of your heart to maybe bring you somewhere new. On your inhale, come back to your center. We'll do the other side when we get to the other side. Take an inhale, lengthen, and as you exhale this time, fold into your posture. Prasarita, Tanasana. Crown of the head comes down, hips lift up. If it's in your practice to do Shavasana, the tripod headstand, feel free to do that. You might support yourself with blocks or a wall if you have it nearby. Take 3 deep breaths. And if you're holding the wide-legged forward fold, let the crown of your head be heavy, chin in toward the chest. Try to put a little bit more weight into your toes, so your hips lift a little bit higher. You can find a grip of your hands wrapping around the outer edges of your feet or your heels, or maybe even big toe lock. Wherever you are, 2 more deep breaths. As you're ready, you'll lift your heart. Start to turn your body toward the front of your mat, lowering your back knee down. Finding Anjaneyasana, and let your left knee travel as far back as you can. Your right knee is directly over your ankle, so you're in a deep lunging position. And if you need, it's always helpful if you have sensitive knees to roll your mat up or put something underneath your left knee in this case. On your inhale breath, reach your arms up to the sky. Again, reaching for the light. Allow this funnel of light to pour down into you. A side stretch is nice. Wrap your right fingers around your left wrist. As we did before, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, as you pull the left thigh forward, pull your left wrist toward the right side again. You can look underneath your left arm, straight ahead or down toward your outer right hip. Lots of opening and releasing, creating space for something new. Come back to center, take a big breath in. See if you can float this. On your exhale, sweep your hands back. Use blocks if you need. Let your right thigh lengthen as you float those fingertips back like a bird. And let's move together. Inhale, reach up. One of my favorite combinations of movements here. Exhale, float those fingertips if you can. Stabilize through your core. Flex your foot. One more time. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, float back. We'll hold here for a few breaths. Variation of Ardha Hanumanasana. Half splits pose if you like. You can bring your hands down underneath your shoulders or further forward or onto blocks. Or maybe even take it a little bit more forward. Right heel forward, left thigh down. Feel free to bow into any variation that you have. And surrender to your hopes, to your dreams, to your courage. Feels good to open the hips. Take one more full round of breath. And stay for your exhale. Now a little treat here. We'll make our way back into the lunge. Take a breath in as you sweep your right leg back and up like a three-legged dog. Stack your hip, bend your knee. And we'll come into a pigeon pose, Kapotasana. Right knee behind right wrist. Your left foot is a little behind your left wrist. Fingertips are tented in front of you. Lift your heart up. See if you can extend that left hip as far back and down as possible. Take a full deep breath here. Stay upright if you like. Take any upright variation that speaks to you, or just come down and rest. It's okay to surrender. It's okay to let go and release right here in this moment. If it feels good to move your right heel a little bit more forward to get a deeper opening into the hip, that's great. You can also do this pose lying on your back in a figure four position. Really good opportunity to use your exhalation to let something go. If you're feeling the need to release, make some noise. This is the time to do it. Our hips store so much emotion. And as we move into the new year, let them be released. All those emotions that are not serving you, to create space for what will serve you. 2 more deep breaths. As you're ready, we'll release back to three-legged dog. So take your time, walking your palms underneath your shoulders, tucking those back toes. Now we sweep that right leg back, stack your hip, bend your knee. If you'd like to flip over, if you have a puppy nearby like I do, watch for your puppy. Sweep your top arm over. If you're going for Ardha Chandrasana, let your feet become hip distance and parallel. Reach your top arm back. Take a full deep breath. Feel this beautiful release and opening. And then as you're ready, come back to three-legged dog. Take a vinyasa as you like. You can ripple forward, keeping your leg lifted. Chaturanga, Ardha, Mukha, Svanasana, upward dog or cobra. And make your way back, downward facing dog, for 3 deep, wonderful breaths. Let the courage arise. Let it envelop your spirit. You've got this. From downward facing dog, we'll start again. Inhale, left leg lifts to the sky. As you step through for warrior 2, back heel spins down, open it up. Left hand into the future, right hand into the past, your head and your heart right here in the present. Outer left hip tucking underneath you, inner right thigh open. Bend deeply, left knee over your ankle, working that left thigh parallel to the earth, gazing forward. One more breath. On your inhale, straighten your front leg and heel toe your back foot in just a little. Start to hinge forward at the hips as you keep reaching. Engage the core, keep reaching, and then pivot the arms, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Left hand down, right hand up, but like you're holding a big ball. Extend and stretch through the fingers. And then if you like, you can reach the hands forward like you're offering that ball. This big orb of love. And then from here, right hand to your right hip, soften your left knee. And as you step forward for Arta Chandrasana, you might bring a block with you underneath your left hand, or finding that courage. Finding that courage to let those fingertips be light, just touching or grazing the earth, or maybe floating. Maybe your right arm lifts up. As you stack your hip open, press out through your right heel. Let that heel press away from you, toes curling back. You can maybe even gaze up to your top hand or take your variations if you have them. If you lose your balance, it's okay. Have the courage to get back in. And then as you're ready, soften your front knee, step all the way back and open to the long edge of your mat. And from the long edge of your mat, again, another round of Prasarita, Tanasana. I'll turn this way so you can see. The left hand this time will come underneath the face. Right hand to your right hip and start to spiral open. And as you're spiraling open, the right hand reaches up. It's like we did in the standing forward fold. Maybe you spiral your hand behind you, top of your left thigh. Welcome to stay here, again, finding that comfortable position for your gaze. Maybe you take your left hand on the outside of your right ankle and pull yourself in, kind of like that twisting downward dog. And as you pull yourself in, you feel that stretch into the outer right thigh. Maybe you're looking up. Lots of opening in the shoulders and the neck, as well as the hips today. Then as you unwind yourself, come back to your center, halfway lift to realign, and now we fold again, Prasarita, Tanasana. In some variations, if you want to walk your hands back behind you and pull yourself in, or maybe you extend your hands all the way forward. Maybe you grip the outer edges of your feet, your heels, your big toes, or maybe you go for Shavasana, the tripod headstand, using supports if you need. Hands underneath your elbows, bending the elbows at 90 degrees and letting the feet slowly start to float up with control. Toes pointing toward the sky, keeping engaged through the shoulders.
having control when you come down. Now let your heels touch first. Take 2 more deep breaths wherever you are. Take an inhale as you come back to your halfway lift. Then as you exhale, turn toward the front of your mat, this time lowering your right knee down. And again, try to slide it as far back behind you as you can to get that deep lunge. Left knee over your ankle. And then as you're ready, you rise up. Anjaneyasana. This is a prayerful posture. It's a prayer for love, prayer for peace, an offering. So allow that abundance to funnel down into you, but also to be shared. It's 2 directions. Take a deep inhale. Nice long exhale. And again, the side stretch, wrapping your left fingers around your right wrist, lengthen your arms, press your right thigh forward and down, and then as you exhale, hinge up and over to the left, finding that position for your gaze, whichever feels good. I like to look up underneath the right arm, but maybe you're looking straight ahead or you're looking down, really working in your own range of motion here. Feels good to stretch that hip flexor, press it forward and down. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then inhale brings you back through center. Try to stay in the floating action if you can. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, a floating Ardha Hanumanasana. Heel pressing forward, toes curling toward you. If you lose your balance, find it. Find that courage. Inhale, you can do it. Even if you fall out, you just get right back in. Exhale, patting up your right knee if you need. Inhale. And exhale. And here we stay. Ardha Hanumanasana's beautiful variation requires a lot of courage to stay here with all the wiggles and the wobbles. If you want to go a little deeper toward Hanumanasana, you can plant your hands if you like. Let your left heel come forward, right thigh down. Try to keep that connection of the left hip pulling back, right thigh forward. You can stay upright, take a variation, maybe bow in. Let's take a moment of reflection. All the hope and the dreams and the courage that this past year asked of you, and the potential of this new year to start fresh, to begin again. And beginning to plant those seeds of intention. This is where we begin. Take one more full breath. Stay for your exhale. Again, we'll make our way back to the lunge. So as you need, get yourself there. Plant your palms under your shoulders, tuck your back toes, take that left leg back and up, stack your hip, open it up. And then as you're ready, Kapotasana feels so good, pigeon pose. Left knee behind left wrist, your left foot is behind your right wrist, somewhere at an angle usually, as you have very open hips. Tend to your fingertips, lift your heart, try to roll your outer right hip down more. You can stay upright, you can take any variation that feels good for you. And then when you're ready, if you like, surrender, let go. Feels good to move that left heel more forward. You can go for that as well. As we're here opening the hips, use that exhalation breath. It feels so good to sigh. There's a deep cleansing that happens in the body, not only on a physical level, but an emotional level. And even a chemical level. We tell our body to go into a state of relaxation when we deeply exhale. You can control those chemical reactions. Is it going to be for relaxation or will it be for stress? And you decide through your breath. Two more deep breaths. As you're ready to release, walk your hands back under your shoulders. Tuck your back toes, three-legged dog. Any variations you like. If you'd like, stack your hip, bend your knee, flip yourself over again, wild thing. Feels so good to extend that front line of the body. It's a beautiful posture to release and open. And then when you're ready, come back around, complete your Vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. You can always take a rest, a child pose, tabletop, or Hanamanasana, heart melting pose. Take 3 deep cleansing breaths here, Adho, Mukha, Svanasana. Exhale through your mouth, sigh it out. One last breath. And from here, looking forward, walk, step, or hop to Malasana, squat pose. So you can step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, left foot to the left, or maybe hop it through, coming into a squat. Elbows on the inside of your knees, palms to the center. Lift your heart up. And you can stay here. If you want to come into an extended version, it's nice to reach your hands forward and let your head drop. You can also do this with your feet together and your knees open wide. So pick an option, either the upright position or this extended position. And before we go into our final sequence, yes, there's one more. Gonna roll onto our back and have a little bit of a stretch. So make your way from Malasana onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice loving squeeze. I hope that 2021 is full of hugs. Hugs and hugs and hugs. And from here, let's create a figure 4 position. So a supine pigeon, crossing your right ankle over your left knee. Hug your left knee in toward your chest, either holding in front of your shin bone or behind your thigh. And give yourself a little rock side to side, keeping your heel just past the outer left thigh. So your ankle is being supported by the top of your thigh. And as you're rocking side to side, push your right knee forward as you pull your left knee toward you. And you might find that as your left knee crosses a little bit more to the left, you get a little bit deeper opening into the right hip. Wherever it is for you, hold for a few breaths. Enjoy again this release of the hips. And slowly release your left foot to the floor. Take your right hand on the outside of your right hip and find half happy baby. Ardha, Balasana. And as you pull the knee down and you're pulling on the outer edge of your right foot, you can keep your knee bent, your left knee bent, or start to extend your left leg straight. That might not be too visible. I'm not sure where the camera is exactly, but press your left heel out if you can. And try to knead the left thigh straight. You can even press down a little bit into the hip flexor to help it relax. And then from here, start to extend your right leg straight if you can. And remember, you can keep your left knee bent. If it's available for you, hold to the outer edge of your right foot or even to the inside of your right heel and pull that foot down and out to the right. Couple more breaths. And when you're ready, hug your knee in toward your chest. Give yourself a little twist, bringing your right knee across to the left side, looking over your right shoulder. You could stay here or even extend your right leg all the way straight, holding to the outer edge of your foot. Coming back through center, hug both knees in toward your chest. We'll go to the other side. So right foot plants down. This time left ankle crosses over your right thigh. And you want your heel to be just on the outside of your thigh so your ankle is being supported by your thigh. And as you hug your right knee in toward your chest, press the left knee away. Rock a little bit side to side and try to find that juicy spot where you feel a lot of opening into the left hip. See if you can keep both of your feet active. As you're pulling the right knee in, left knee is pushing away, and you're either holding in front of your shin bone or behind the thigh. If it's too much for you, you can always have your foot down as well. Couple more breaths. You can visualize things that you're letting go of if you like. What would you like to leave behind in 2020 so you have more space for new things in 2021? And releasing your right foot down, half happy baby, wrapping your hand around the outer left foot, pull your left knee down. Feel free to stay here. You can extend your right leg to straight and knead that right thigh down if it feels good. Getting into the hip flexor. You're welcome to stay. If it feels good to extend your left leg straight, you can. Holding on to the outer edge of your foot, or sometimes holding on to the inner heel feels really nice as well. And try to extend through your right heel if your leg is straight. If your knee is bent, that's fine too. And then from here, we'll hug that left knee in. Take it into a twist. So left knee comes across the body to the right side. Left arm extends out to the left. And you're welcome to stay here or extend your left leg to straight. Try to roll your outer left hip down, maybe holding on to the outer edge. You might have to pet a puppy if there's one beside your hand. Roll the outer left hip down and away from you if you can. Maybe even look away from your right side toward the left arm. And then bringing it all back into center. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Hugs, hugs, hugs. We're going to make our way back to downward facing dog. So you have choices. You can rock forward and back, or roll to your side and make your way there on your own. If you want to throw in a little vinyasa in the start of this, you can. And in a few breaths, we'll meet in downward facing dog. See you there. Adho, Mukha, Svanasana. We'll weave it all together now. The hope, dreams, and courage. The inspiration and willingness to look deeper, to shed what's not serving us, to move beyond self-imposed limitations, and achieve our fullest potential. Let's do it. From Adho Mukha Svanasana, lift your right leg up to the sky, stack your hip, bend your knee. If you want to do a little flip over, you can. And when you're ready, bring that right foot all the way through to the center. Back heel spins down. Virabhadrasana 2. Take an inhale breath. Right hand in the future, left hand in the past. Your head and heart here in the present. Gaze forward. Take a breath in and a breath out. Flip your right hand up, left hand down. Inhale. Exhale. Pull it back. Viparita Virabhadrasana. Inhale back through center. Straighten your front leg. Heel toe your back foot in. Hinge forward. Trikonasana. Again, holding that big beach ball in your hands. Offer it. An orb of love. Imagine who you're giving it to. And then from here, Arta Chandrasana again. Left hand to left hip. Stand onto your right foot as you spin your heart open. And then from here, soften both your knees. See if you can catch the outer edge of your left foot with your left hand. Shavasana. Channel that courage. Kick into your hand. Hope for the best. You've probably dreamed of this posture. Fingertips floating. Open your heart. Breathe. Beautiful. And then from here, bring both hands to the mat. Soften both knees. Bring your left knee in toward your chest and stand up. It takes a lot, and it's okay if you fall out. Hug your knee into your chest. You might have seen this coming. From here, hold on to your knee or your big toe lock or the outer edge of your foot and stand up tall. This is 2021. Press your heel forward. Reach your right arm up, and if it's available for you, open it up. Uttita Hasta, Padangustasana. Stand tall. Be present, and if you like, look over your right shoulder. Challenge yourself. You can do it. And then bringing yourself back through center. One last pose here. Whoa, find your balance. It's okay. You've got it. Hold on to your left hip. Right hand on the outside of your left knee. You can turn. Woo, it's okay if you have to start again. Look over your left shoulder. Take your right hand, maybe to the outside of your right foot. You might have just done this on the floor. Roll your outer left hip down, and can you take a look? Parsva Uttita Hasta Padangustasana. Revolved hand to big toe pose. Take a look. And bring it back through center. And release. Give yourself a little shake. One more side. Inhale, reach up, arch back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway. As you exhale, plant your palms, walk, step or hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana, or all the way to your belly. Take a back bend. Last one here. And all the way back, downward dog. Left leg lifts, stack it up, open, bend your knee. Flip open if you like. And then as you're ready, step through Warrior 2. Front heel, pull up your pants. Front heel to back arch alignment. Left fingertips in the future, right fingertips in the past. And what is in the present? Your head and your heart. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. One more. Inhale and exhale. Viparita Virabhadrasana, exalted warrior. Feel that beautiful side body stretch. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. On your inhale, back through center. Straighten your front leg, moving toward Trikonasana. Keep reaching, keep hinging. Pivot your arms. Open it up. Feel free to share. Who are you offering this orb of love to? Who needs your hope, your dreams, and your courage? Who inspires you? Right hand to right hip, soften your left knee.
Step forward onto your left foot. Use a block if you need. Stack open that hip. Turn your chest open. And then from here, bend both knees so you can grab that foot in your hand, outer right foot with your right hand, kicking that foot into your palm. And maybe you can float just a little bit this time. Finding the courage. And as you release, it's okay to laugh too, at yourself especially. Standing L-shaped pose, and bring that knee with you as gracefully as you can as you rise all the way up to standing. And it's not perfection, it never is. It's your effort. How hard do you try? From here, hold your knee, big toe lock or outer edge of your right foot. Left hand reaches up, extend your foot forward. When you're ready, open it up. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. It's a beautiful pose to come into the new year with. It's hope and dreams and courage. Maybe you look over your left shoulder. Steady yourself for all that's to come. Coming back through center. Let's come into a twist, right hand to right hip. Left hand to the outer right knee. You can turn and look over your right shoulder, or maybe hold the outer edge of your left foot, like we just did lying down. Right hand comes behind you and roll your outer right hip down. Stand tall. Look to the past, but keep your head and heart in the present. And back through center. Release. Hands to your heart and let it go. Beautiful, everybody. Take your feet wide, reach your arms up. Hands to your heart as you come back down to Malasana. So those of you that want to finish this with a little extra, feel free to take a crow pose and a vinyasa. For those of you that just need to be here, you can be here. You can also come to seated with the soles of your feet together. Take a full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. Those of you going crow pose to the vinyasa, we'll make our way onto our seat in a couple of deep breaths. So when you're ready, we'll meet you there. As you're ready, making your way all the way down onto your seat. Extend your legs out in front of you. Give them a shake. From here, shift to the right side of your mat. Taking your left foot in toward your right inner thigh, open up your right leg to the right, but make sure your left knee is on the mat. Turn your body toward the right leg. Take an inhale breath, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, fold forward over your right leg. Couple more deep breaths here. Try to roll the outer left thigh down. Press out through your right heel. And you're welcome to stay. If you want to come for a side body stretch, then bring your right forearm either onto your shin bone or on the inside of your right leg. Left hand to your left hip. Spin open. And then let your top arm reach up and over. A lot of side body stretching today. Might feel good to find a bind. Again, maybe you're looking up underneath your arm, straight ahead or down. Finding your own range of motion here. And then we'll rise all the way up. Bring in your left fingertips behind you, fingertips pointing away. Turn your right toes down, and your knee will press down into the mat as you lift your hips up and sweep your top arm over your ear. This beautiful expression of joy. Very similar to Wild Thing.
When you're ready, come all the way back down. And switch your legs. Your right foot will come to the inside of your left leg. Make sure that your right knee is on the mat. Turning toward your left leg. Take an inhale breath, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, hinge and fold forward over your left leg. And try to keep your outer right thigh pressing down. Two more deep breaths. You're welcome to stay in that forward position, or taking your left forearm to the top of your thigh or inside of your left thigh. Right hand to your right hip. This last chance to spiral open here. Reaching your top arm up and over. Maybe you find a bind, but try not to squeeze yourself in. Still want that outer right hip to be pressing down. Maybe you look underneath your arm, that final look up. And rising all the way up. This time, right hand comes behind you. Pressing your left toes down, right knee down, sweeping your hips up. Top arm reaching up and over. Again, this expression of joy. Can bring this with us into the new year. Even in the darkest of times, the hardest of times, that little light of hope can allow us to feel joy, to follow our dreams, to be courageous. Come all the way back down to your seat. Let your legs shake out in front of you. One last forward fold. And why I love this next pose so much, Pashimotanasana. Number one, it's one of the oldest yoga asanas that there is, and it is intended to stretch the entire back line of the body, which is representing our past. So this is the chance to release from the past so we can move with more clarity and space into the future. So move the flesh around your seat from side to side, sit up nice and tall. Take an inhale breath as you reach your arms straight up. And as you exhale, hinge and fold. And if this is challenging for you, bend your knees, flex your feet. Over time, with time, the legs will start to soften, the back will lengthen. You can even use blocks or bolsters to support yourself. Wherever you are, even if it's up high, let your head relax, let your arms be soft, even turning the palms up. A gesture of surrender. And taking 5 deep cleansing breaths here. Take your last full breath. When you're ready, you'll slowly roll yourself up and make your way again onto your back. You can take your knees in toward your chest. When you get there, open up your arms in a cactus or a T shape and take a simple twist to your right side, so letting the knees go to the right. Taking your gaze to the left. Use your right hand on your thighs. Give a little extra stretch. If you have a different supine twist you like, feel free to take that one. Final wringing out of the spine of any last bits of tension or tightness, anything left to let go of. Bringing it all back through center, realign your hips. Take your knees into your chest, open up your arms again, and knees to the left, gaze to the right. unwinding yourself back through center as your knees come into your chest, full happy baby if you like. Maybe you open your legs. Maybe you would like a plow pose or shoulder stand or Viparita Karani, legs up and arms up. Maybe Shavasana would feel good, a headstand to start the new year. Take about 10 breaths to finish up any poses, any postures that would feel good for you. And then you'll make your way into your final rest if you're not there already, to Shavasana. I'm going to end this class, this practice, with the same poem that I started with. In case you missed it at the beginning or you were touched by the words, you can hear it again. Something that really speaks to me about the potential of a new beginning. And then when this poem is finished, I'll offer up one sound of Om. And then please take Shavasana for as long as you would like to really enjoy that part of the practice. That's the part where we integrate all of the teachings, all of the healing, all of the breath. I hope that your dreams come true this year and that you find the courage to keep moving forward, to keep that spark bright inside of you so that you can share it with others, especially those that are having challenging times. So as you make your way into Shavasana, here is the poem for a New Beginning by John O'Donohue. In out-of-the-way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to emerge. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight when your courage kindled and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you'll be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. If you'd like, please join me for one sound of Om. Let this Om wrap around your hope, your dreams, and your courage. Let it fortify and strengthen you. Let it join us, connect us, unite us. Many blessings into the new year. Take a full deep breath in. Full breath out. Inhale for Om. Thank you for joining me for this practice. Namaste.